Whether Lily Rose Depp wants to admit it or not, she is the product of nepotism 100%, and there probably isn't a greater example than Lily Rose Depp. The problem with Lily Rose Depp is that she won't cop to it, and then she'll pretend that she created her career off her own merits, which is really cute, but not true. And people would have more respect for you if you just admit it and said, yeah, you can't control who your parents are. I've had opportunities because of my dad, and I've taken those opportunities. There's nothing wrong with that. Just admit it. But unfortunately, she's not going to admit to it. So somebody commented, do people not understand that Lily Rose Depp wouldn't be famous if it wasn't for her parents? Like, she's not really worked for her career. It was handed to her because of her parents. That's how nepotism worked. So yeah, it's partially true, right? She was handed opportunities and she took them. But of course it still worked. Everything in life has worked. We can't say, oh, Lily Rose Depp hasn't worked for anything. Because obviously if you take a role, you have to prepare for it. But her response was, well, if somebody's mom or dad is a doctor and then the kid becomes a doctor, you're not going to be like, well, you're only a doctor because your parent is a doctor. And there's a big difference between acting in a movie and being a model than being a doctor. First of all, doctors still have to go to school and they have to earn a degree. So yeah, actually, your statement is true because most people who are doctors come from families of doctors and they also have the money to pay for medical school and the time to study. So they have opportunities too, and a lot of times that's why they became doctors, was because it was pushed on them, etc., etc. So yeah, it can work like that, but Hollywood's a little bit different, and I think you know better than that. Hollywood is pretty much a place where you're only given opportunities based on your connections. That's just how it is. Most of the people in Hollywood, they come from famous families and they have connections. Just look at Hollywood, look up some of the biggest stars, and it's very, very rare that they didn't come from absolutely nowhere. Let's take a look at some stars. Rest in peace, John Aniston, but Jennifer Aniston got opportunities because of who her dad was. Nicolas Cage got opportunities because he's related to Francis Ford Coppola, and his name is Nicholas Coppola, but he changed his name because he didn't want to be associated with his famous family. Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Seinfeld has a billionaire father, Gerard Dreyfus. Rest in peace, Aaron Carter, but nobody would have cared about you if it wasn't for your brother Nick Carter. Same thing with Ashley Simpson. Nobody would have cared about you if it wasn't for Jessica. But yeah, the list goes on and on. If your dad is Johnny Depp, you're going to have a lot of opportunities in Hollywood, and you're very blessed for who you are and who your parents are, and you are a prime example of nepotism. Just embrace it. Wear shirts that say, I am a nepotism baby, because that's what you are, and there's nothing wrong with it. And let's be honest, people don't get second chances in Hollywood, and your acting in Yoga Hosers was absolutely horrible. It was just terrible. Like, it was one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. So you've clearly gotten opportunities since then, and most people, if they weren't related to someone, their career would have been done after something as bad as that.